What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So, Arrow Day. Once again, guys, I want to apologize for not getting Arrow up last week. Travels, me not feeling all too well. I just gave the week a pass on pretty much all of it. So, brand new week. Last week's was pretty cool. I mean, it was sort of like Chase has got every angle covered, and yep, Talia was all about Chase, pretty much. Like, she basically created him, like, helped create him to get back at Oliver. You know, I saw that coming. I saw it coming. I mean, you can't kill her father and think she's not going to come after you. So, that wasn't all that big a surprise. And obviously, Ollie got captured with the help of Talia. And now Adrian's pretty much got him trapped. So that's where the episode pretty much starts off. But you guys know the deal. Spoilers are coming. Big spoiler alert. So if you have not seen this episode, go and watch it. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Go and see it. Then come on back. Then you know what we're talking about. And then we'll go from there, okay? Alright, so spoilers are on the way. Okay. So, Kapiushon? I'm sorry. I don't know really how to say it. Kapiushon? I think it's something like that. It's something in Russian anyway. Very flashback heavy. Like, they pretty much paralleled it to the basically to the real world thing. I think there was more flashback in this one than there was actually real world one, like real time one. So it's all right. I think it was good because it's starting to it's starting to finish up the whole Bratva side of it for him. So that's a good thing. I think that is a good thing. Because I'd like them to. I'm kind of finished with the flashback stuff. I mean, some of it's cool, but I think we need to start moving on a little bit because we've been stuck on this like Kovar thing for a while now. So I didn't mind it this time because it sort of showed how dark and kind of psychotic Ollie got while he was in Russia, and probably the reason why he put himself back on the island was to maybe chill out for a while, you know, maybe calm himself down, you know, control his monster and things like that. Like, he skinned a man alive. Skinned the man. Like, he got the information and he just carried on because he just practice, he says. You know, I did not expect that out of Ollie. I really didn't. So he's gotten super dark. Super dark. And basically uses the hood as a way of separating himself from it. Like, oh, no. The monster did that. The monster in the hood did that. I'm just Oliver Queen. I hate killing. He did it. So he's basically split himself down the middle, and that's not good for your head. That's that kind of stuff. You need to seek professional help, I think, at that point. But yeah, so, and basically in like the real time, basically with Adrian Chase breaks Oliver, breaks him. He's broken. Seeing it, like, everything he's doing, all it was to just get him to say, I like killing. I wanted to do it, sort of thing. That was all he was wanting to get Oliver to say, was that I'm a monster, and I like being a monster. And break him, essentially. And he knew that if I do that, I break him. He can't be Green Arrow anymore if he admits what he is. And pretty much that happens. Through some very, very brutal torturing things, I guess. Went with the guilt thing with his father, with the drought, like the waterboarding, essentially. You know, just sticking his head underwater for like 145 seconds, which is an impressive breath hold. Obviously Oliver's trained, but hey. Um, and basically describing that his father was still alive when he fell into the water. He just couldn't move. He basically knew he was drowning. Then basically copying inflicting what he did to others on him by shooting 3 arrows into his shoulder. That's gotta hurt. More the pulling out has gotta hurt, because I mean those arrows aren't made to come out. They go in, but they don't come out. So they look pretty nasty. That one. And then the psychological one came in. Using Evelyn, we see her again. Basically using her as like this psychological thing, like saying he's going to go off and kill people, and then using Evelyn, and he has to fight Evelyn, and he refuses to kill her. She tries to kill him, but he basically tears the knife away from her, and it's nothing. Like, he's trying to convince her to help him, but nothing. Like, she just is done with it, essentially, at that point. And yeah, nothing happens. None of them kill each other. And so Agent Chase goes, well, if you don't kill each other, I'll kill her. I'll just break her neck right here. And when he comes back and finds that they haven't killed it, no one's dead, he basically, simulates snapping her neck. Because later on we find out that she ain't dead. She's not dead. She's still the traitorous bitch, I guess you would say, that she has been. She sold it pretty well. Ollie fell for it. And I mean, like, I had a feeling that he didn't snap her neck, because the way the camera went, like, basically it sort of just saw her throat, he sort of threw her to the ground. And Ollie, being the way he was, would not notice it, would not see it. Because he's so broken, and he's so, like, he's got so much pain, and he's just so emotionally, overcharged, essentially. Like, he could never see that. And yeah, she gets back up, it's like, heh, I tricked you. Like, after he, admits that he likes killing and things like that. So she's like, heh, gotcha. I don't know her endgame. Like, she just wants to destroy him. I don't understand why she would. I guess she blames him. She blames him for her parents. But that was Hive. And Hive was going to do what Hive did anyway. And I guess she thought, like, it was his fault because he brought Hive there, essentially, because of what he's done. Like, if he didn't do what he did, Hive would never have been there, so her parents would never have died. The girl's messed up. I don't know. She's, I honestly thought, like, she was dead, or she just got used and that was it. But, no, she's still around. But, man, Adrian Chase is turning out to be a pretty damn good villain, I must say. He's pretty good at what he's doing. He's really got that psychological thing going, but he's also a bit crazy. Like, there's no filter to him. And, like, he can switch from DA to Prometheus very quickly. And he killed his wife. He killed his wife without even thinking. Like, I'm gonna make this all better. I was like, damn, that was so cold. It was so cold. So I'm enjoying Adrian Chase being Prometheus. I'm kind of glad that he never turned out to be Vigilante, because Vigilante's kind of like a more simple villain. Prometheus is one of the villains of Green Arrow, so I'm kind of pleased that, he's gone that way, and he's showing his true colors, and damn. Like, seriously. Things he's done, mighty impressive as a villain. I think, like, because who we've had? We had, who was season 1? We've had Raz, we've had Slade. Slade, I thought, could have been better. I think he was too wild. Like, Slade's more calculating. I don't think he was as calculating as he should have been. He should have actually been more like Adrian Chase is right now. I always felt like, Deathstroke and Slade Wilson are, they're far more, like, they think on a far different level than what ordinary people do. So, he just wanted to create a thing of super soldiers. And then I guess we've had Malcolm Merlin. He was at the start. And he's okay. But, yeah, I think this would probably be one of my favorite villains of Arrow that I've seen in a while. Like, probably be between Raz and him. Slade, I had a few issues with, like I said. But, yeah. I guess then we'll go into, like, that was pretty much it. It was just these bits of real life, like, real-time stuff in this. It's sort of very, very much like would flicker back and forward very quickly from the flashbacks to the real time things. But yeah, basically after that, like, Ollie he lets Ollie go, but not after burning off. He burns off his Bratva captain's tattoo, like melts it, like with a blowtorch. That was, like, they didn't show much of it, but, like, you can feel like, oh, damn, that's one of the worst stuff, like, the melting flesh and, like, the burn, oh, that's not for me, that ain't for me. That was pretty crazy. And yeah, basically, Ollie walks out, stumbles back into the to the lair, and goes, yep, I'm done. I've had enough. I don't want to do this no more. And, like, I had to look up the promos for the next one. He still wants Adrian Chase done, but he's like, Green Arrow's not going to do it. This team is not going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. I'll kill him myself. Like, well, find a way to kill him. Like, even get the Bratva to do it. But I'm done. Like, Green Arrow's finished. And Prometheus has done this before, like, in comic books. Like, he's broken Green Arrow before. And ruined things for him. Basically, like, there is a scene in the comic books where it is the death of Prometheus. Like, Green Arrow kills him. But in doing so, ruins pretty much everything Green Arrow. It essentially breaks him. And this is kind of going that way. It's going that way. So it's going to be interesting to see how they go with that. But I guess then the flashback stuff, which took the brunt of this episode, it was all about stopping Kovar with this sarin gas attack basically on the leadership of Russia, like the president, prime minister, whatever, the generals, everything. They're all in this casino, and Kovar is gonna gas them with sarin gas, which is a nasty way to go. It was, and he buys that from Malcolm Merlin. So Malcolm's like all about, like, yeah, I'm an evil businessman right now. Like, he hasn't done the undertaking yet, but yeah, I'm an evil businessman. Yeah, I'm not hiding it. And yeah, he's basically, sells this to Kovar. And yeah, so basically, with Anatoly taking over the leadership of the Bratva and everything like that, okay, that we expected that, because Anatoly is the leader of the Bratva. This is always the biggest problem with the flashback stuff. It's always the problem with, like, prequel things. Like, when you have prequels to things, you know who's going to survive. So there's no stakes in anything. Like, Anatoly's going to survive. He's not going to get shot. Like, he may get shot, but he's not going to die. Ollie's not going to die. There are certain people that are not going to die, because they're in the future. So there's no stakes to it. It's going to happen. Like, they're going to stop the gas attack. They're not going to die from it. Like, Anatoly and his men get dragged into the room where the gas is coming in. He ain't going to die, because he's in the future. So I do, when they focus in on the past stuff, the flashbacks, it does take away from the episode a little bit because you know who's, like, there's no stakes to it. You know it's not, they're not going to die. Like, Kovar has Anatoly pretty much beat. And you know he's not going to be able to beat him because you know that's still alive. So, I don't know. I guess, like, we finally meet, what's her name? It was Diana, wasn't it? The lady from the lady from the islands, the one that went crazy with the magical power. I think her name was Diana. Diana. There are so many Dianas. I'm done with it all. Okay, it's the most common freaking name, spelt in many different ways out of all of Green Arrow. So, I just we need to move on for that. So, you know, they meet her and, like, he tries to explain to her, like, look, can you please help me? Your daughter asked me to basically avenge them, you know, and rescue you and the village from Kovar, essentially. Like, can you help me? And she's like, oh, yes, you know, thank you for, you know, of course I'll help you. You know, you helped my daughter and all this stuff. It's like, you know, what happened to them? It's like, oh, they're dead. And she's, of course, like, she's very upset. You know, she wants to help them because, you know, she finally understands that Kovar, who's acts very nice to her and, you know, gives her a place to live and, you know, feeds her and all that. And it's like, she sees him as a nice man. Finally realizes, like, no, he's a bad man. He sent, well, I think he sent, or it was his plan to get them onto Liang Yu, and he's a bad man. And, like, he helps her. She helps him. Gives her an access card to get in the casino because they can't get in because it's, like, way too secure. And she dies for it too. Like, he finds out, Kovar finds out, and I think chokes her, or she's dead anyway, and that sets Ollie off. Like, insane, like, sets Ollie off, and then we have this big fight with, like, well, not big, but, like, a fight with Kovar. And it's still kind of cool, like, with Kovar being the Russian dude from Rocky. You can see it in him, right? You see it in him, and it's kind of cool to see. Obviously, he moves very well for an old man, but we all know it's a stunt double. But, you know, he still moves quite well. And, yeah, like, he basically it's a fist fight between Ollie and him. And the fist fight was cool. And then it all comes down to a knife, and Ollie slashes his face and then stabs the man. Stabs him. And, like, you know, Anatoly's like, listen, don't do it. You'll find justice. You know, all these people saw what he did. He'll get justice. You know, he'll go to a gulag or whatever it is. You know, we'll find it. He's like, yeah, he'll find justice. Kills him. And, like, pretty much through all this episode, Anatoly is extremely concerned for Oliver. Like, when he walks in and finds out what he did to one of Kovar's men to find out what was happening, and he skinned him, like, Anatoly's like, you have a problem. This is not healthy. There's something wrong with you, essentially. And, like, he's, you know, Ollie's constantly using, like, oh, the hood did it, the hood, blah, blah. It's like, no. You're just using the hood as an excuse. When this breaks, when this excuse, this illusion of yours breaks, you're going to be highly disgusted in the man that you find underneath. You're going to realize that you are actually the monster that you're trying to focus. So, it's good to see the bond that Anatoly and Oliver have together. So he actually has, you know, actually cares about the guy, cares about Oliver, and he wants him to do well. Like, he even tells him, go back to America, get away from here, because this place is not good for you. This place is not good for you. You need to go. And he's like, no, I'm staying here. And of course, Anatoly's like, all right, fine, brother. But yeah, overall, like, it was a good episode. It was a good episode. It was very, like, it went to a dark place. Like, you got to the down to the raw truth of what Oliver is, and, like, Oliver admitting, like, yeah, I'm a monster. I liked killing. I liked doing what I did. And probably if he didn't meet Felicity, and if he didn't meet, Dig didn't find out, and maybe Dig just left, he would still be the guy that goes around killing. He'd still be that guy. I don't think, those relationships helped him become more normal. It, it socialized him again. So without those two, they wouldn't have, Ollie would still be that bad guy. It'd still be him. So yeah, that was, it was kind of cool to see it come down to the raw truth of him, and like him finally admitting it, and the way Adrian did it. Like, he broke Oliver. Like, you can't, like, Raz, like, may have, like, twisted Oliver up a little bit. Slade kind of nearly broke him. Dark nearly broke him, like, on the edge of breaking. Like, all of them have pushed him to the limit of his, like, breaking. But Adrian Chase broke him. Like, yes, he'll come back. I know he's coming back. He'll come back. He'll be more Green Arrow than ever. Like, he'll go through some bad episodes here. Like, it could be like Flash, and just suddenly, it goes from being a very dark episode suddenly to a very light episode, and they're all singing and they're all happy and stuff. But it's definitely like he broke him. Like, none of the other ones have done that. None of the other ones have forced him to give up his hood and give up the cape and the bow. Oh, not the cape, sorry, but the hypothetical cape, sort of thing. No one else has done that, and it's very impressive. It was very impressive, and I like the way Agent Chase has been played. I like it a lot. But yeah, very solid episode. Liked it. I liked it a lot. I think it was good. Just could do with less flashback stuff. I'm kind of like, can we move on from the breakfast stuff a little bit quicker? Like, I'm guessing it's going to last till the end of the season, but it would still be nice to move on a little bit. But I digress. But anyway, yeah, I think that's going to do it for us, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Thank you all the new subscribers and stuff. You guys have been great. Also, check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv/AverageKiwi, the AverageKiwiGuy, I should say. We've changed the name. We're into Mass Effect at the moment, so if you're interested in the new Mass Effect, hit that follow button, stop on by, say hi. I'll be there, obviously. And AverageKiwiGuy on the socials too. Twitter, Instagram, that stuff. You guys know. Alright, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.